We did our NFL Super Wildcard Weekend bracket, and I don't see a loss. When's the last time you saw a perfect bracket? Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Money Pot
Money
Betting
pop. Ching, ching.
Show and Money Pot Podcast channel. I'm the host, I'm the CEO, I'm the president. They call me Moss Money. And we got the homie with us. They call him Diddy. What's up, boy?
What's up, man?
What's
Man,
up?
it's
What's
sad
up?
to know that season's just about closing, man. Only got a
I
few
know,
more
right?
weeks left, but
I know, right?
that's what it's all
And
about.
yeah. Finish strong, as they say. Finish strong. And last but not least, you got to get yourself one of these guys. He's not out for rent. He's on the squad. He's on the team. The homie, your favorite, my favorite, professional gamer, CSharp. What's up, Sharp?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up? What's up?
Oh man, tough loss for Washington, but it is what it is. Better team won.
Oh,
Michigan,
yeah.
Michigan was the best team all year.
Oh, we talked about it though. I mean, you
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to buy. You
Covered.
said it live. You were like, I don't like this money line bet anymore. You were ready to get out of there.
No. I didn't like. I only liked the points, and it wasn't a big bet. We talked about that. I was just gonna ride or die with Penix, and hey, to me, it was a game flow game, right? Like whoever was able to snatch control of the game. Like if Washington was tic-tac-toe, get the ball first, score. Michigan, you got to keep up with us. It's a different kind of game. Michigan was able to come out, run. Washington was chasing. Once Washington was chasing, it was in trouble. So, yeah, I felt like that was a game flow game. But I will say, like if those teams matched up 10 times, Michigan probably wins 7 or 8 times.
For sure.
Yeah, that's just how it goes.
For sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we are here to talk for you guys, everybody who's watching, with NFL Super Wild Card Weekend. And the games are set, the brackets are set, and we got bets to make. So let me bring up our handy dandy sports book. Unfortunately, ESPN is down for whatever particular reason. It was on my phone. I haven't checked it back again. But let me get everything set up so we can talk sports and how we continue to make money each and every week using sports betting as the vehicle. Sharp is the professional side. Me and Diddy do the side hustle piece. But I'm telling you, man, each and every week we come in here, we do picks, we show tickets, we show receipts. If that's what you like to learn, if that's what you want to see, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you tune in each and every week, and we will show you how to do this as a side hustle. All right, let's start it off, man. First game on the slate. We have games every day this weekend, except for Friday, but we're going Saturday, Sunday, and then how fitting it is to see the Eagles on a Monday night slate. Me and Sharp, well, Sharp, you can join in, but I think me and Diddy, we're gonna be doing something live for that thing, right?
Yeah, let's do
We
it.
talked about it. Yeah. All right, bet. All right, but until we get there, we have the Cleveland Browns traveling to Houston again. Cleveland is favorite -2.5. Total is 45.5. I do have a best bet in this game, and I don't think it's going to come to surprise to either one of you two. You already know where I'm going. I'm smoking that Joe Pack all day. Give me the Cleveland Browns. I'm taking the money line. Looks like it came down just a tad here, -2.5. Hey, man, I'm going with the hot hand. I know last time they were in Houston, CJ Stroud did not play. But again, I'm going to reiterate it again. I don't think this Houston team is healthy enough to take on a more probably prepared, veteran-led, and roster that's kind of probably more healthy because they didn't have to do much last game. Cleveland's Browns. This defense is tenacious, and they found their passing game. Now, I get it. I know Amari Cooper is not going to almost catch 300, 275 yards again. I know that's not going to happen again. I agree. But I just don't see how Houston wins this game. I love CJ Stroud. He should be in the MVP conversation. I love D'Amico Ryans. I've loved what he's done for that. But let's not get it twisted. They squeaked by a bad, maybe average Colts team. They squeaked by. They squeaked by. That wasn't like a defining win, right?
That was a playoff game.
Right. And now they got to do it again. Give me the Browns, man. The Browns are back. Wherever y'all been at, the Browns are back. Give me Cleveland. I'm taking the money line. F the spread. I think they win the game outright. Yeah, and that's all I got to say about that, man. Any bets from you boys on this game, or you just guys gonna watch and see me make money?
Go ahead, Sharp.
I mean, I don't really have a take in this game. I do think what's interesting in this game is that so these two teams obviously played a few weeks ago. They played on December 24th, Christmas Eve. What I do think is very interesting about that game and this game is I can distinctly remember that line opening at Houston -2.5. At home, Cleveland was coming to them, but CJ Stroud had taken a hit to the head and he was under concussion protocol. So there was some issues with the line. No one really knew what to do. And then I remember literally by Monday, Tuesday, that line was Cleveland -2.5, -3 on the road. I do find it interesting that they've reopened now, knowing CJ Stroud's full go, doesn't have any concussions lingering over his head. I do find this interesting that we're seeing that similar spread of where it closed at when it was Davis Mills. So just that alone, I would lean Houston catching 2, but man, I just can't bet this game. I can't trust Joe Flacco on the road, and I can't trust a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback versus this defense. So weather's not going to be a factor. To me, it's just I'll watch. I don't have a feel in this game. I just thought it was interesting that Cleveland is 2.5 favorites on the road, which was the same exact spread as how it closed with Davis Mills. So you're telling me that CJ Stroud isn't worth anything to the spread? That's crazy.
Go ahead, Diddy. Tell him where you going. Go ahead, Diddy. I want to hear.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same wave as Sharp right now. I don't know. I think the line is super, super sharp, a little confusing. I mean, I think everybody is on Cleveland Browns, and the line hasn't moved at all. Everybody thinks that they're the more veteran team, better defense, more depth on that team, which they are.
I was gonna say everything you said was true, though. It's not.
That is true.
Right.
But the line with the I wish we can kind of go to seeing how much money is on the Cleveland Browns right now. That line not moving there is just a little tricky to me. I think Houston has nothing to lose here. They're a Cinderella team. They're coached well. Salute to what's going on in Houston and that changeover. How about the fact that Cleveland, Houston, and Detroit has never been in the playoffs in history, and for them all to be into this year is a salute to the change and dynamic of the NFL right now. That's why everybody loves the NFL. You just never know year in and year out. It can be anybody. But we definitely didn't think it was going to be any of these 3 teams, and they are in the playoffs. So salute to them. This is a watch and see for me. Maybe a last-minute live spot to see how the game is flowing. I can jump on something live, but this is nothing I will put in pregame. If anything, I'll look at some props, maybe some kicking props here. I think it'll be a little tighter. I don't think this will be a shootout. The line is kind of telling you at 44 that it won't be a shootout. So I'll just look at some kicking props and probably be a watch and see of live betting for me in this game.
So to add to your take here to see where the money's been coming in, there has been no buyback, some slight buyback when it got to 2.5. Line opened up on January 7th at 1.5, and it's just been slowly ticking. Cleveland got all the way up to 3 at one day, and there was some buyback then, but it's just been constant. It's just been money pouring in on Cleveland. Nothing's switched. Nothing's changed.
It's crazy.
Now there is a little bit of buyback. I think the money line, when I looked at it a little bit today, was at -140. So a bet came in there on Houston. I mean, there's value on the dog, obviously, but it was the same handicap I kind of gave for the Colts. And the Colts, and we talked about it before, me and Sharp. We touched CJ Stroud over Minshew. And who was the end culprit in the Colts game? Minshew, right? I feel bad for the kid. I forget his name off the top of my head. Was it Goodson? I think it's Goodson. The running back. I feel bad for the kid. He took it on the chin. Yes, did it hit him in his hands? Should he have caught the ball? You're a professional athlete. You're a professional football player. Yes, but it was still a bad ball. It wasn't like it was right there and it was open. Steichen said it. This is on you. We had it. And they did have it. And I think they get that first down. They score. I don't think, like, again, I don't want to reiterate the same thing. I just don't think Houston's full strength. They're going to need everybody. The one thing I do like about Houston's side is that CJ Stroud does not turn the ball over. And when you can play mistake-free ball, you put yourself in position to win the game. And I think Sharp said it better. Said it even better than I even know because I don't watch the Houston Texans too much. That boy Will Anderson is coming. Like he is coming for real. I love the fact that they have their rookies as captains. So should be a great game. But I digress. Give me the Cleveland Browns.
I think Wills has an ankle injury, so that could be something that be hobbling him a little bit going into this game. So just be mindful of that.
They're just using him in passing situations. That's how they're running him. When it's passing downs, he comes in. So, and he's got enough get off to to still be a force because he was still being disruptive in that Indianapolis Colts game. But like I said, give me the Browns minus 135. All right, let's keep it going.
But let me ask you a question.
Yeah. Love questions.
How far you like the Browns then?
I already got a Super Bowl play on them.
Okay. Okay. But before that, you didn't put that in this week. Obviously,
we put it in. I think that was another me and Sharp take. Damn, Sharp, was that 3 weeks ago? Almost?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 3-4 weeks ago when they really started to cook. And we were just like, with that defense, man, Cleveland, like you don't want to play Cleveland. Like you don't want to play Cleveland right now. The way that defense was playing and the way Flacco was just kind of like he was, like it just made sense. And their odds were, I think, like 35-40 to 1. So just from an odds perspective, like it just didn't, like I was just like, this doesn't make sense because they would beat a lot of the teams that are like 15 to 1, 10 to 1. So it was a small just unit play. It wasn't nothing big. But
so what I'm saying by that is that since like right now, if you're looking at it, do you think it's even better to just get the value if we're not just looking at this game? You think they're going to win this game? Obviously, you think they beat Baltimore. Do you get them to just do you?
Baltimore's a toss-up game. That's a 50-50 shot. It's like them playing themselves.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what I mean? But we're talking about the story. Flacco going back to Baltimore and a Cleveland Browns jersey. Like, come on, bro.
It's nothing but stories. That's why the script is perfect. The NFL script has been in. You want to know why the Eagles fell off the cliff? Because the script is in. The script is in, baby. Look at these storylines. Look at it. Look at the damn storylines.
Yeah, and
Flacco we'll coming off the couch and leading his team into the playoffs. Houston Texans has a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback. They're going to the playoffs. Houston Lions, Texans never been in the playoffs. You got Green Bay playing Dallas again. Ain't played since that drop.
Don't give up all the gems yet.
I mean, it's just story after story after story.
Come on now. Come on, let me story tell. Right. Let me quarterback it a little bit. You can get in a second. And speaking of storylines, Miami at KC, Tyreek going back to the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City is favorite minus 4.5. Total is 44, minus 218 on the money line. I think I'm going to switch gears here, and I'm going to let Sharp take lead here because I think, Sharp, you do have a play on this, and you do have a pretty good side on this. I believe it's going to be cold, like it should be in KC, and I believe it's going to be snowy. I'm not sure. Sharp, I'll let you take the lead dog on this one. I think you have a best bet on this. What you got?
Yeah. I actually like two things here. You kind of missed the window. I did personally. I kind of wish I would have just taken Chiefs at -3 when they opened. Obviously, the line's ballooned. I did take the under. I like the under for 5 units. Even though it's just under the key number of 45 when it opened, I still like 44 here.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs have struggled to score all year. They're not that explosive passing attack that you're accustomed to. They're kind of a ground and pound offense. And the weather's just going to be super conducive to letting Pacheco eat and just kind of grinding this game out and getting out of Dodge. Miami's just toast. Things just didn't go their way. Last week felt like must win, right? They had to beat the Bills at home so that they could rest up and then turn around and play the Bills at home again. They had to beat the Bills. They lost. The Bills tried to give it to them too. The Bills didn't play good. James Cook dropping wide open pass. Their defensive tackle made an awesome strip sack fumble. Josh Allen was not good, made some terrible decisions, throwing the ball in the flat at the end of the first half, throwing up that random ball into the end zone that was picked when he could have just rushed for a first down. They tried giving Miami that game, and Miami just couldn't walk through that door with their offense. And so that's just a red flag here. I don't even think the 4.5 scares me. Like, the Chiefs are going to blow them out. Miami's done. They just are. Like, the only thing is keeping a little bit of hope is that Tyreek Hill just might have one of those moments, like remember me kind of moments. But like Tua Tagovailoa, he struggles under 40 degrees. This is going to be like negative degrees. One of the colder games, and this is going to be one of the colder games in football history, the NFL history. This could be like wind chill -20, wind blowing, flurries. Like,
Ooh.
I mean, Miami.
Why is this total so high then? Like, I love the take on the total. I love the under
think it's
here
just
with the
because
conditions.
in everyone's mind, the perception is it's the Chiefs in Miami, right? But like, this weather is going to be so crazy. Like, I don't think I kind of screenshotted you what Tulsa's looking like, how it's going to be 62 degrees tomorrow. Friday, it's going to be 30. Saturday, it's going to be a high of 10 degrees. Well, that's the same thing hitting Kansas City. So, I mean, when you're talking a high of 10 degrees and they're playing at night, I mean, Miami's in so much trouble.
Yeah, no track suits for McDaniels, man. Diddy, what you got on this guy?
Yeah, I'm with you on Sharp. I don't have a play on this game, but I would lean the Chiefs here. Obviously, we missed a number there when it was at 3, like you said. You talked about Tua not being able to play in the cold. He's 0-4 versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Definitely when there's anything below, I think it's 40 degrees, what she said. I think the line is. I think the totals there is because I think it might be dry. I don't think it's going to be any flurries or any precipitation, but it is going to be frigid. And one thing that has happened is Tyreek has played in Kansas City, so he understands that code. So that preparation for the team, can kind of understand what they need probably to go into it. But not a lot of those players probably played in no type of temperature like this, and this is going to be a culture shock. It usually is, and they'll be ready to get up out of there. Unfortunately for Miami, I think we had a lot of promise for them. Their electric offense is kind of coming down to a halt with their injuries, the wrong part of the season. That's what happens when you extend seasons. Injuries happen at key players and positions. I think this Chiefs team had an opportunity this week to kind of reset a little bit, kind of get on track for their playoff run. We all know how Patrick Mahomes plays in the playoffs, and he has that home field. So I think this will be the Kansas City Chiefs win here. Like you said, Miami's kind of ran off the rails. I also do think this will be the last Kansas City Chiefs win this year too. So,
and just to add to what great that Sharp took here, Tua and temperatures under 45 degrees, 0 wins, 4 losses, 55.5 completing percentage, 4 touchdowns to 5 picks, and only a 71 passing rating. That is telling in terms of Tua's record. And under, we're talking about only just 45 degrees. It's nighttime in KC. 10 degrees.
I'm doing the hourly for Saturday. So the high on Saturday in Kansas City is 11 degrees. That's raw temperature. The wind is going to be blowing out of the north from 15 to 20. So that brings the wind chill down. The high is 0 degrees wind chill. At kickoff, you're looking at wind chill of -5 dropping to -10.
Woo!
At kickoff. Woo! Yeah, boy. Now they are going to dodge precipitation. It looks like snow starts at midnight, so it will be dry. But man, who wants to tackle Isaiah Pacheco when it's -5 degrees for Miami? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you.
I'm just telling you right now. One of my big bets early was the under. I have since added Kansas City, and I have since added Isaiah Pacheco. I just think he's going to go over his rushing total. He's probably going to score a touchdown. Chiefs are going to run away with it. The Chiefs are built for this kind of game. This is like it's hard to say. It's just I know I hate being on the public side of things when you're taking the worst of the line here. If you just wanted to take the under, I understand, but Isaiah Pacheco is also going to have a big game.
Sure. Let me ask you a question. I know you do a lot of scouting on quarterbacks. Tua was one of your guys. I'm sure you scouted coming out. Does he have a small hands? Does he have small hands?
Yep.
So maybe that could be
small hands, and the ball loses velocity at 20 yards with no weather conditions. So think of him going into the wind. Now there might be times where he's downwind, where he can still hit those little 15, 20-yard timing routes with Tyreek. But anytime he's going to be into that 15-mile-an-hour wind where the ball's losing velocity, for him it's going to be losing velocity at 10 yards in those kind of conditions. So it's going to be just those safeties are going to be creeping up. Tua's not going to be able to throw it over the top of them. This is just such trouble. I hate to say that Miami's dead, but they're dead.
Which makes sense to why he struggles in the cold weather. Small hands and probably harder to grip the ball.
Yeah,
especially when it's cold and the ball gets a little bit harder. Pause.
I'll use that as a drop.
It's just like I said. You're talking about one of the quarterbacks that generate some of the highest RPMs in the league in Mahomes, and a quarterback that generates some of the lowest RPMs in the league in Tua. So it's just that matters.
Don't throw me that ball that hard, Paul. Not in that type of weather, bro. Like,
well, that's why I think I'm saying Isaiah Pacheco over 64 and a half yards to me seems criminally low. Like, to me, he could go over 100 yards easy.
I see this being a Travis Kelce game too. I do. I really, really.
He needs it. He needs it.
I think Rice will get
little 7-yard button hooks all day.
Yep.
Pacheco, like you said, is over. His rushing prop is 64 and a half at minus 120, and 100 yards. It's almost 4-1 at plus 360. I like the gems. I'm with you, Sharp. I am on the under as well for this game. I just think it's pretty glaring. And like you said, unfortunately, the Miami Dolphins run has come to an end. And they'll go back home and say Cancun on 3.
Yeah.
All right. Sunday.
They might be saying that on Friday.
Yeah, right. Sunday, 3 slated games. The surprising Pittsburgh Steelers made it because the Jags lost, and the Pittsburgh Steelers did make the playoffs, and they're going and traveling to Buffalo, who out of nowhere didn't seem like they were going to make the playoffs, and they won the AFC East. So look at how that kind of turned around. You already kind of hinted at Josh Allen and how bad he was in this last game that they needed to win against the Dolphins, but they got the job done. The Bills are favorite minus 10. Total was 36. Money line is minus 535. No TJ Watt in this game. They already announced it. And he's probably more likely going to be out until almost, if they make it to which they probably won't, but they make it to the AFC championship. But that's a huge blow to them. But I feel like 10 points is just way too much here. Like, I can't back. Is it Mason? Is it Rudolph? Right? Yeah, Mason Rudolph. I can't back him, even though they've been playing well. They went to Baltimore. They played in ugly conditions. I think this team is built to play anywhere. Najee Harris has been playing extremely well. I think he has 50 carries in 2 games, where we thought that's what he should be, right, all the time. And they're kind of finding that identity as of right now. I do have one bet here. I would lean Pittsburgh, but my bet here is going to be over Josh Allen for rushing yards over 30. I'm sorry. My bad. I do like over Josh Allen, but his rushing attempts. Josh Allen over 8.5 rushing attempts, I think, is criminally low. He's had 10 and 15 in the last 2. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball with James Cook against this front. I can see Josh Allen getting the ball here. And here's a tip. Here's a gem that you need to listen to about this game and about this player prop. Do not forget, nailing the ball is a rush. So if Buffalo wins the game and he takes 2 nails, they count as rushing attempts. So it's at plus money. It was at plus 105 when I took it. Seems like it's going the opposite way. I would assume that it would be going this way. It's at even money right now. Give me Josh Allen over 8.5 rushing attempts.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a money play for Josh Allen. I think in cold weather, history shows that they run the ball a lot with him, especially that QB sweep, that draw. You're going to get at least 3 of those to possibly 4. Then you got to worry about his regular scrambles. Key to this game is supposed to be 40-mile-per-hour winds. So that just lets me know that ball is going to be probably pulled down more than anything, which will get you over that 8.5.
You said 40?
40.
Yeah, 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, and the high for the day is 22.
It's gonna be ugly.
So you're
That's
looking
Buffalo
at,
weather.
You're probably looking at wind chill of right around 0 at kickoff.
So, But with that being said, I love that play. That was going to be my play too. So I'm on that. You can lock me in for over 8.5, especially at plus money. I don't give a fuck. That's great value for that with what I just handicapped. And then to tell you the truth, I said this earlier. This is going to be a big teaser weekend for me. I will put Pittsburgh into my teaser. I think this
ain't nothing new, bro. Like it's every weekend for you.
It's not. I think
here's the crown. Teaser king.
Put it on there. Thank you, sir. For me, I do think Buffalo is going to win this game. I just think it's a little too much because of the way Pittsburgh plays. And I think with the weather being ugly, it will be an opportunity for Pittsburgh to kind of stay close in this game. They just had a game where it was really nasty outside, and they beat Baltimore in that nasty weather. So that lets you know they can lean on that run game, which I think they will be able to do against this Buffalo's defense. Play action off its small, short passes, which they're going to do. And then Mason Rudolph able to kind of move that pocket a little bit. The dink and dunk to Pickens, I think he'll be able to do that. So that's going to be part of my teaser. I'm going to bring it up to plus 20 points. If they lose by 20 in this playoff game, I just can't see that happening. Not no Mike Tomlin team and not in a playoff game like this. I think they have these boys ready to play and compete. So 20 points, I'm taking it all fucking day.
Yeah, so I'm taking a little different angle, but I've been watching this weather. I mean, weather's here, and it's pretty obvious to me what you take in this game. Win or lose, the Steelers are going to go down with handing the ball to Najee Harris. And I don't care if Buffalo stacks the box. They don't have Milano. They don't have some of their key guys. Poyer and Hyde are getting much older. When I watch them on tape, they're a half step slower to hit the hole in the run game. They're a half step slower to get over top in the pass game. Najee Harris has been averaging at minimum 20 carries a game, taking away that Colts game. Like I said, live or die. They're going to go down running the ball. I don't think they have to pass to stay in this game. I don't think Buffalo is going to be able to effectively pass simply on weather. I think this is going to turn into both teams ground and pound. I do think Josh Allen wins because of Superman. I really wanted to take the Steelers, but obviously TJ Watt, that's kind of their superhero themselves. I do still kind of lean Steelers with the points given the weather, but Najee Harris over 58.5 yards. To me, that's a 5-unit prop play. This is just like he's going over 60 yards rushing. There's no doubt about it.
Because he's under the ball 20 times.
Yeah, I mean, he could average 2.5 yards per carry, and I think he goes over this.
Exactly.
It's going to be one of those games where it's going to be close. It's probably going to be like 20-17 at most, maybe even more like a 10 to 10 game for a long time. And I just think he might get 30 carries.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do too, Nate. I might even take a sprinkle on this money line here, just because we've had such a great season, and we can do these things when your bankroll is up enough to kind of gamble a little bit. I might take Pittsburgh. I might take Pittsburgh's money line here, just because the value is at 4-1. At the same time, I might take Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl too, because I think if they beat them, they beat the Chiefs. And
wow, it's a dog.
Yeah, I know. Hold
up. You went from the Steelers money line, and then you went to Pittsburgh, winning the whole damn thing.
No.
I mean, Buffalo.
The opposite. I want Pittsburgh to win because it's 4-1. Now
Yeah.
show me really quickly Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl.
All right.
So that's the win the AFC.
To go to the Super Bowl, it's probably 4-1.
It's gonna be the same. It's gonna be a wash.
650.
So there it is.
250.
I think
Sorry,
if
that was
they-
champion. That was
they
champion.
roll
You're right. Yeah,
here-
250. That's a little low. I was
Oh, it's
thinking 4-1.
250.
I feel like it's low. I feel like it's too low.
It is low.
See, when I'm looking at that, to me, you take the Browns at 12-1. Like that's where the value still lies to win the AFC is on the Browns.
Yeah,
I
I think this is criminally low. Right? If they beat Houston, like if they beat Houston, and I have it in our Super Bowl challenge here, with the bracket. I mean, it's because they go to Baltimore, but if they get past Baltimore,
I mean,
there ain't nobody slowing them down.
if you believe in NFL scripts, it'll be frickin' Joe Flacco playing Lamar in Baltimore.
For sure.
That's what the script will be.
Yeah, that's the script. Yeah. That's the story. That's the TV story. And I said that's a 50-50 game to me. Because Lamar's been playing out of his mind. He can beat you by himself.
I thought the Buffalo would be a little bit higher than 250. In that case, and I'm off that. But,
yeah, you kind of like. I don't know. I don't like that Buffalo bet for you.
Yeah, but I'm definitely going to sprinkle a little on that 4-1 though.
And the Steelers.
Yeah, I like that.
And the Steelers, I would probably do that in a round robin. Do it in like a money line dog round robin. Throw the Buccaneers in it. Damn,
why you got the Bucs in there already, bro? We even kicked there. You already.
Well, I was just saying in a money line round robin, like any underdog.
I know, but it was the first dog you talked about.
Well, just because in my mind I'm thinking like Miami's a dead dog. Miami's got.
Yeah. No, I'm just messing with you. I'm just fucking with you.
I would throw the Rams in there. Like the Rams the Rams you got to throw in there.
Yeah. I
like that. I like that idea.
All right.
Pittsburgh Rams and Buccaneers round robin.
Awesome shit, man. I love y'all Eagles fans. All right, let's keep it moving. Green Bay Packers traveling to Dallas. Dallas did win the NFC East. If this is I think I heard this somewhere, I saw it, but I was already thinking about it, and we talked about it too, did he? About Dallas winning the whole thing. If this is if it's going to be a year that they do it, this is the year they're going to do it.
Yeah,
right now,
they said that every year. Fuck Dallas.
Dallas is favorite -7.5. Total is 50. Money line is -360. I don't have a play on this game. Obviously, I would lean Dallas just because of the way they're at home. Green Bay is playing very, very well right now, but I just don't think that I just don't think Green Bay has enough to keep up with Dallas. If anybody's not if anybody, I know a lot of people are still watching this, and if you are still watching this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Just got to throw that in there. But if you want an easy bet, just bet over CD Lamb, whatever he is, whatever receptions, whatever it's yards, just bet over touchdown. Just pick one and bet it, and just roll the dice with that. That's all I have is my handicap with Dallas, because that's the sure thing. You know, he ended up being the best receiver in the game, pretty much, the way he ended the season. So they're going to get him involved. They're going to move him around, and he's going to be able to get the ball. Kind of storyline like we talked about, Mike McCarthy facing his old team and the Green Bay Packers. At home, Dallas is undefeated at home. Interesting that this is not the biggest money line at home. Buffalo is. So I just guess Green Bay has some legs here. I need Green Bay to get healthy, but I would lean Dallas. I think Dallas wins here. But the 7.5, I can't take the half hook. They're screaming for you with that hook there. So this is a no bet for me. I don't know about you boys, but this is a no bet for me.
I'll keep it quick. Sharp can take the rest. I already had the first leg of the teaser. That was Pittsburgh. Second leg would be Dallas. So we'll get that plus 2.5. Dallas at home, just tough team to beat at home. They just don't lose. And like you said, unfortunately, this is probably their best team in years. And if they are going to win, this will be the year. Blah,
yeah, there you
blah,
go.
blah,
there
blah,
you go.
blah.
There you go.
But I'm going to put my Stephen A. Smith hat on. And I'm going to say, just hold on and wait. Daggone, the
I
real
like
Dallas
it.
Cowboys will show up. So
Yeah.
just hopefully it ain't this game because I got a teaser on it and I need them to win. So that's it. That's about it for me.
What'd he say? Did not tell you.
hmm And with
Did
the little
not
cigar
tell
in his
you.
mouth. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Laughing hysterically. Can't wait for that next day. Sharp, you got anything on this game?
No, I think this was one of the sharper lines of the week, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. I think if you put this line at 7, you get a lot of action. Or if you put this line at 6.5, you get a lot of action on Dallas. At 7.5, the back door's open. I think Jordan Love's proven in indoor conditions. He can move the ball. Somehow Green Bay did it, right? Like somehow they pulled it off. They somehow, he might not be good, but I'm pretty great. I shouldn't say he might not be good. He might not be great, but I feel like he's definitely in that Jeff Garcia range. Like, remember when the Niners went from Joe Montana to Steve Young to Jeff Garcia, and they never really had that crazy drop off until after Colin Kaepernick. Well, Jordan Love kind of feels like that Jeff Garcia. Maybe he's not an elite quarterback, but in some years he feels like he could be a Pro Bowl quarterback. So I do think they're a live dog here if Dallas totally shits the bed. But to be honest with you, I actually expect Dallas to roll here. I think this is one of those games where Dallas is going to look the part. Just look at their home road splits this year, right? Like, they look like a top, and that's why I'm not a believer in them to get to the Super Bowl this year. If they won the 1 seed, I would say they're going to the Super Bowl, because when they're at home, they're like Mike Tyson in his prime. But when they have to go on the road, they're just not. So I think
I was looking for a boxing analogy. I was about to say.
Well, I was going to try to go. I was going to say that sometimes on the road, they're down goes Frazier. But I just Mike McCarthy, I feel like, is actually a better coach than Matt LaFleur. And Dak Prescott's an experienced quarterback, and Jordan Love's first playoff game, he's just going to be a little amped. So I could actually see a rout here. If one game's going to get ugly this slate, I could see this game getting a bit out of hand. I'm not betting it because 7.5 is just kind of sharp line for me. But if you put a gun to my head and I had to bet this game, I would definitely be taking Dallas. I do like your CeeDee Lamb plays. I mean, he's just been rolling. We talked about it on our preseason pod. Mike McCarthy was going to move Lamb from flanker to slot to X receiver, kind of something that hasn't happened to him in his career. And that was going to unlock something in his game because he's a route runner at all 3 levels. And that's coming to form. And I just don't think Jair Alexander can cover him.
Yeah, and I think another thing is if they did put Alexander on him, a sneaky play is Ferguson. Ferguson's been a nice little bright spot. So I would look at Ferguson as well. I think Green Bay has had some trouble looking at covering tight ends. I think Ferguson's one of the upper tier tight ends. So that would be something I would be looking at as well as Ferguson too as well.
I'll look at some alt line too. Like, I think it's going to be value. I'm all about value. I think alt line will be good. Kind of what Sharp was saying. I think this could possibly be a route. Definitely 2 score. Yeah. So
I will
I'm
say
already going to put them in the teaser, and I'm just going to go.
This is what I'm hoping happens, because the Rams have become my dark horse. I'm hoping the Rams beat the Lions, and we'll get into that down the line and when we talk about that game and what side I'm on. I hope the Rams beat the Lions. I hope the Cowboys beat the brakes off the Packers, and you get an inflated line where it's the Rams traveling to Dallas, and maybe Dallas.
You will.
And maybe Dallas is favored by 4, and then I'll smack the Rams.
No, I think that in that case, I think the Rams play Niners.
Yeah, he's right. But not because they're the 6th seed. They're the lowest seed.
Yeah. The Rams will play the Niners.
You sure it resets?
Cowboys will play us. Or play us.
The lowest seed plays the 1st seed.
I thought the winner of Tampa Phillies playing San Fran.
If the Eagles win. If Eagles win, they play the Niners. If Cowboys win and Rams win, then Rams go to Niners. Cowboys play us.
No, but if we win and the Rams win, the Rams still go.
Yeah, Rams win, they go.
They go. Yeah, if the Rams win, they're going to the Niners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to like the Rams in that game regardless.
Yeah. And just looking at it right now, like at 12.5, it's plus 152. 13.5, it's plus 168. So It's not even 2-1 with double-digit win there. Even at another key number, maybe 9.5 plus 107. So everything you guys are saying is kind of going in line where this could be a route. Up pretty much like up a touchdown and a half. They get the ball back. They go down and score the up 2 touchdowns, and they just don't look back.
That's pretty insane. At the 10, what's the 10.5?
10.5 is plus 127.
127.
Yeah.
And what's 10?
They're see, like, the thing about that is they're basically juicing their own juice when you look at that line. Like that's what's called really juicing their own juice. Like they don't want to give you the value. Like they're heavily juicing the Packers, right? Like, so at that key number, they're like, all right, well, if you want the Packers in 10.5, we're juicing the shit out of it. But if you want to take that payday on Cowboys to win by 10.5, we're barely paying you out. So they're already like kind of hedging against the blowout.
Yeah, because you look, and I just went the opposite way. Green Bay, plus 3.5 is 162, which is insane.
Right, like they're begging you to take Green Bay to keep it close.
Yeah. Good call, good spot, Sharp.
So,
all right, let's keep it going. We got 2 more games to go before we finish it off and do a quick bracket. So if you guys are still with us, keep hanging on. We'll get to our perfect Super Bowl bracket here in a second. Last game of the slate, another beautiful storyline, the return of Matt Stafford to Detroit. The Lions are favored -3. Total is 51. Money line is minus 175. It sucks that Laporta's out of this game. I think that's a huge blow for the Detroit Lions. And Puka just had a great ending season. Carson Wentz plus 7-1, got into the end zone. Carson Wentz is in the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. So I have to lean the Rams here. I think Laporta meant that much to this Detroit Lions offense. So I would lean Rams here, but with Laporta out, Goff is he's going to force feed St. Brown. This is, and St. Brown is not quietly, in my opinion. I think we talked about who he reminds me of. A little Golden Tate to him, just a better version of Golden Tate. But if the Rams are going to win this game, they're going to score, and they got to keep up. And this game is going to be throw all day. And who better to throw to your number one target? I think 88.5 is way too low. I bet you he gets over 100 yards. So I will double dig. Give me over 88.5. And I'm taking over Amon St. Brown over 100. Well, it's not even worth it at 100. It's already up. It's at plus 120. I'm at plus money, to be honest with you. So I'll stick where the line is, which is interesting because at 90, it's minus 125. But a yard and a half at 88.5, it's minus 115. So this is going to be going up here quite really soon. Probably hit 91, I bet you, before the day's over. So if you like this bet, you need to bet it right now. Give me Amon St. Brown over 88.5 yards. I think they'll have a hard time slowing him down. One of the better, probably, I don't know, Sharp, you let me know. I'm trying to think anybody better than him. Maybe top 5, top 6, even you, Diddy. Route runners in the league. You can put him anywhere. Yeah, for sure. Adams, Cooper Kupp.
I think it depends on what you're describing as route runners, right? You got underneath route runners, you got intermediate route runners, and then you got deep threat route runners.
I mean, he's the whole tree. He's
I wouldn't put him as an upper echelon deep ball route runner, but I think he's.
Is that speed though? Is that just because of speed?
Well, I just think he doesn't have. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have multiple gears. So when he's shifting in and out of gears at the top of his route, intermediate routes, like the drop off isn't so instantaneous when he accelerates that like he leaves DBs behind. But I will say underneath routes, his mental capacity for understanding leverage of a defensive back is probably the best in the NFL. So he understands how to move a DB to get to his spot almost better than any receiver in the NFL. And that's
like Cooper, right? Kupp is like that too.
Kupp Kupp is a big dude. So Kupp wins a little bit more with he does win with leverage and IQ, but he's a bigger dude. So he kind of physical. He kind of boxes guys out. Amon-Ra actually makes corners move their feet, and then he gets right back to where that corner was. Like his just release package, if that's kind of what you want to go, like his release package off the line is the best in the NFL.
Nice. All right, so I like my bet.
Yeah.
All right, Sharp, go ahead. Keep talking, man. What you got on the side? What's your best bet if you do have one?
I took it at 3.5. It's come down right when it opened. I like 3.5. I'm still not scared at the 3. You'd have push protection. I've already talked about Diddy. I would throw the Rams in an underdog round robin here. I think they're one of the few underdog chances to have live dogs that could win. And here's why. We liked the we liked the Lions last week. We gave it out, right? And part of the reason we liked the Lions was because we said, and I talked about it on the chat, and I didn't understand why, Dan Campbell has a crazy ego, and he wasn't going to rest his starters. He was just going to, for whatever reason, not really care and go for broke last week, and he got his star tight end hurt. I hate to say, like, guys get hurt in football, and I get it, but, like, there's a couple guys you had to not play in that game. We argued on the chat a little bit about going for games and if it means anything. And I was on, and I didn't think that Dallas needed to go for it. I didn't think the Eagles needed to go for it. And I didn't think the Lions needed to go for it. I think all those 3 teams needed to get rest. And the Lions paid the price. And it's going to cost them. They are losing this game. Sean McVay's a better coach than Dan Campbell. Matt Stafford's a better quarterback than Jared Goff. And the Lions just are beat up. The Rams have a better defense by far. The Lions, honestly, are probably one of the worst defenses in the league, and their secondary is about as bad as it gets in the league. And you're telling me I've got 2 elite receivers coming in, and Matt Stafford's a top 3 quarterback in the NFL? I mean, like, if there's one game that could flip the script and get ugly where the home team gets blown out, it's this game.
Where you at, Diddy?
Yeah, I'm not on a side here. Like I said, I will lean and like that the money line round robin with the Rams, because I just think they're live. I do think the Laporta injury is going to be major for the Detroit Lions, but the line only dropping a half a point and jumping in and start opening at 3.5 when they already knew that Laporta's going to be out is telltale to me. So, but at the same time, you're talking about and we spoke about this early on in the year when Detroit played the Atlanta Falcons. And I told you that they have one of the best run defenses in NFL, and they still do. They still do. So my play would be Kerryon Williams under his rushing yards. I think this game he will not be going off. And I like Kerryon Williams, but I believe in his Detroit Lions run defense. So that'll be my play. Yeah, I mean, I think like I said, I said it against the Falcons. What was that? Week 3, week 4?
Yeah,
early on in the season. Yeah. They did it against whoever that was. I forgot that was there.
Yeah, I think we've proven over time that was more Arthur Smith. That's what I mean. The reason he got fired is because he had no idea how to handle his running back room, right? That's kind of.
I mean, but I'm not really just particularly talking. I think we touched on that game about the defensive run against the run.
Like, I think Detroit finished middle of the pack against the run, so I don't think they finished upper echelon against the run. I think they finished middle of the pack against the run.
The bad thing about them, especially as they ended the season, was their pass defense. I mean, Nick Mullins threw for almost 800 yards.
I do like your bet, though.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, because I mean, they're still ranked number 2 in the league. They can't finish middle of the pack.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Number 2. I'm only talking about the run game. I'm talking about. I'm not saying their passing defense is atrocious. When they're playing against the run for Kerryon Williams over 84, give me the under.
I get that, and I'm not mad at it. I'm just, it's tough for me because I think at this point, this run game is quite maybe matchup proof. And I only say that because I'm looking back at it. He had 87, 104, 152, 114, 88, 143, 158, and then 53. He had 53 against us. But listen to the fronts he's faced. He's faced Cleveland. He's faced Baltimore. He's faced New Orleans. And even though Washington traded everybody, Washington's front didn't fall off too much once they traded everybody from Sweat and Chase. So that's all I'm looking at. I'm looking at the matchup per se, especially against Baltimore. At Baltimore, he had over 100 yards. and you know that defense is stingy. And then followed up before that, he had 88 against Cleveland. So I think what helps your bet is the game flow. Once they start passing, I'm not sure if they're going to get back to the run. Because if I'm Stafford, I'm going there to throw 500 fucking yards. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I am tossing it all day. So I don't mind the bet. I would just be, wary about that bet because he's run against good fronts.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. You said the Ravens, but Ravens are middle of the pack against the run. I mean, there's levels to the defense. I mean, I don't want to argue too much about this particular
Yeah. No, you're
situation.
good. Yeah.
Defenses are good as a whole. For instance, last year the Eagles were good against the edge rushing and their run defense. Earlier this year, the Eagles is ranked high and did really well against the run. They've completely bottomed out and now
Let's not
can't
try to
stop a
use the
nose.
Eagles as an example, please.
I'm just saying it can't stop a nosebleed. What I'm
Right.
saying as far as Detroit Lions, they have not stopped. They continuously have held their running backs under 80. I want to say it's like 80 plus yards
I see what
average
you're saying.
this
You're on the
season.
other end. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say,
so they're third in the league in yards per carry, right? 3.7. So that's
Mhm.
that's the stat that matters, right? Because total yards goes into attempts and all this, and certain running back carries. Sometimes players teams you're going against split carries. So it's hard to look at individual running backs against you. The one stat that matters is yards per carry. Your defense. That's the stat that's tried and true. That's matchup proof, and they're third in the league, right? So that's a good bet. They're probably going to stop Kieran Williams. And what I was saying is the game flow is going to be in your favor, because this game is going to be exactly like Texas versus Washington, where Washington knows they can't run on Texas. Texas knows Washington can't run on them. But guess what? It's not going to matter because Washington is just going to go bombs away all over them, and they're not going to be able to stop them. And the Rams are just going to go pass, touchdown, pass, touchdown, pass. It's just going to be like, and Jared Goff is simply not good enough to keep up with Stafford in a shootout. So, I mean, I agree with your Kieran Williams bet. I'm just telling you, the Lions are done. They're not winning this game.
So is this criminally low? Matthew Stafford over 1.5 touchdown passes?
Yeah, he's going to light him up like a Christmas tree. I mean, the only thing is they could get to the 1 and then Kieran Williams rushes it in. That's what's his yardage prop?
274.
I mean, he's going over 300 passing yards.
I feel that too. I feel like that too. I feel like this is a Stafford game for sure.
Yeah, he's going to light him up.
Yeah, and don't forget, in the mix of the whole Stafford talk, Jared Goff is going against the Rams, the team who traded him.
Yeah.
So, all kinds of stories in this game. I like everybody's bets. I don't want to get too hashed down like Diddy was saying on this game, but I think both bets are good. A little bit of worry for me just personally on the rushing prompt, but you two both like it. So
I like it.
Yeah. So I think it's a good bet. Actually, no, I don't think it's a good bet. My bad. It's trying to sound like team togetherness, Diddy. I don't like the bet. I'm just gonna be real with you. All right, let's talk about them because it might be ugly, and this line is telling. Look at that motherfucking line right down there. Can you see it? The Eagles are -3. Total is 44. Money line is -155. Going back to Tampa, nice little storyline here as well. His first playoff game, loss in Tampa, Jalen Hurts. But obviously the tail two teams, Eagles, we all know, every week 1-5 in their last 6, but the Bucs are, I believe, 5-1 in their last 6. On opposite trends here, even though Tampa looked like shit against the Carolina Panthers, the worst team in the league. And now they get maybe the third worst team in the league, or at least the way they're playing in the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think there's any weather problems in this. We're going to be going live for this game. Me and Diddy are going to do a little live cast here, watching the game. We'll see how that works out. So make sure you guys, if you're watching, hit the subscribe and join for Monday Night Football to finish out the week. Like you said before, Sharp, round robins, parlays. I have to believe that Tampa will be closing out a lot of teasers, parlays, money lines, a lot of stuff come Monday. I don't have a bet on this game. I'm assuming A.J. Brown is playing. How effective he is, I have no idea. I don't know what this game flow is going to look like. I literally have no hand. Yo, y'all boys look fucking great with those hats too, by the way. I just want to say that. I meant to say that earlier, but those hats look fresh. Just want to say that. I'm going to let you guys run with this one. And Diddy, I'll give you the mic first because you might have the most to say. Man, I have no idea on this game. I think Vegas is screaming for people to bet Tampa. That's what the line is telling me. I think it's very an Eagles line. So you would think that the Eagles should win this game. That's not just a fanboy in me. That's what the line is telling me, how bad this team is played, and they're still favored by 3 in Tampa on the road. I'm assuming that Vegas feels like just on paper and Madden simulation game, the Eagles should win this game 8 times out of 10. But I have no bet on this game. I'm going to stay back and watch, and hopefully we got some more Eagles football to talk about the following week. But Diddy, talk to him. Take it away, man. What you think about this game?
Yeah. I'll give you a quick recap. In 2012, the Baltimore Ravens finished the season very similar to the Philadelphia Eagles finishing this season.
Did you go there?
I'm going to give you the reality.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. I know what you're talking about.
So the idea that the Philadelphia Eagles can win a Super Bowl is still down. It is still possible. Of course, it's possible. The difference between those two teams that it was never the defense that was the issue for Baltimore. They always had a solid defense led by Ray Lewis and company. It was their offense that wasn't clicking and able to put points up on that board. Problem with the Eagles defense, our defense is atrocious. And the difference is that we've lost trust. Our players, from what I see, has lost trust in the staff that's coaching him and leading him to these games. So for me, in this game, I will, and there's nothing that shows me why the Eagles within 7 days will change. The NFL tried to give them an extra day to get healthy because they want them in the script to possibly move on and don't want Tampa Bay moving forward. The line is trying to tell you the same thing. And I'm going to go with the trap if it's going to be the trap. Give me the plus the 3, and that'll be in my teaser. Tampa Bay is going to be moved up to 13. And I'm going to take Tampa Bay, Dallas, and the Pittsburgh Steelers in my 3-team 10-point teaser. That'll be my play. I just don't – the switch is not going to be switched for me for the Philadelphia Eagles. Nothing is showing that. Unfortunately. But I'm okay with that.
Let me go real quick. Go show him sharp. Yeah. Show him sharp. Talk to him sharp. Yeah. Sharp, you're up. What you got, brother? Taking the birds all day?
I mean, I'm on the under. That was another one where I smacked it right at 45. I put it on the chat.
Yeah.
Eagles offense is struggling, but you got to take the Eagles here. Baker Mayfield has a bum shoulder. I'm pretty sure he needs surgery on his throwing shoulder. He's got a high ankle sprain. You saw what happened with Trevor Lawrence when he had those two same issues. We saw what happened with the Jags with Trevor Lawrence. He fell off a cliff personally. You just can't sustain a throwing shoulder injury and a leg issue. You can't sustain 2 injuries to quarterback play. Like, I don't care who you are. You're not gonna be the same person. And Baker Mayfield is struggling with those 2 injuries. He's a dead duck. I'm telling you right now, he's a dead duck. They've got no backups. I don't know if Tampa will score. I mean, they could have lost to Carolina. Carolina fumbled the ball going into the end zone.
Yep.
And then they had in my opinion, a bullshit procedural call about just, you know how the NFL is. 2 refs saw different things. They didn't think they had somebody covered up on the backside. It was totally inconsequential to the play, but they took a TD away from Carolina. Like, Tampa can't score. Like, Carolina's offense was giving Tampa the ball in opportunistic positions over and over, and Tampa was only getting field goals. This is going to be the Jets game over again. The Eagles, if they just punt on 3rd down, will beat Tampa. Just punt on 3rd down. Run the ball and punt. if they turn around and try to air it out 50 times, I could see some dumb shit happening and Tampa staying in the game. But literally, if you just punt on third down, play field position, and blitz Mahomes, blitz Mayfield, they're gonna blow them out. And so I think
I love you, Sharp. What you said makes 100. No, this is real. What you said makes 100% right. You're absolutely right. But what we do is not what you just said. We're not going to punt the ball. We're not going to run the ball. We just don't do it. So in that case,
Sharp is like, let's go, let's fly,
there
baby.
goes that good strategy that you just had. That's what we just don't do. We don't run. We don't punt. And yes, I agree. I think Baker Mayfield is an injured duck. But we also thought that the Giants couldn't score in football. We also thought that Arizona couldn't score. And they all scored on that defense. The Giants put up average 30 points against us this last 6 weeks. And Arizona put up 30. That's what's happened. Teams that can't score can score when they play the Philadelphia Eagles. For some reason, these guys are wide open, uncontested touchdown passes. So for me, when I see that, I can throw and make a touchdown against the Eagles
what they're
showing me.
No, you can't.
So I can say Baker with a bad shoulder can probably still make it happen when you have guys like Godwin and Mike Evans on those outsides, and able to have White running the ball.
Well,
I'm just saying what you said was the right way.
Maybe it's a life hedge because. And maybe it's just the fan in me, but I think partly it's a life hedge because I will tell you this. If the Eagles lose to Tampa, the whole coaching staff's getting fired. And with how many good coaches are out there right now, in my opinion, that are better than Nick Sirianni, this wouldn't be the worst time in the world to go shopping for a new coach. I'm not saying Nick Sirianni should be fired. I am saying if the Eagles lose this game, he's getting fired. You can take that to the bank.
Good. I hope pack his bags. I mean, what he's shown me confidence of running a football team is just zero. I mean, you can talk about all the wool over our eyes and going 10-1. What I see with my own eyes, the play calling that I've seen over this year has been atrocious. Shane Steichen, man, salute to you, brother, because you saved Nick Sirianni a job ultimately. Because when you left, it's been nothing. And that was don't forget, Shane Steichen is the reason why Nick Sirianni was like, remember, he was calling the plays in what year one. And they had to take that from him and gave it to Shane Steichen. And next thing you know, we're in the Super Bowl. Like, that's what happened. These players are too good enough to fall off a cliff the way they looked this season. And I'm not going to believe that Jalen Hurts is as bad as he played. I'm not believing that A.J. Brown can't give you 100 yards or 60 yards or 80 yards a game. I'm not believing that Devontae Smith. Like, I'm not. These are quality guys. That's the reason
I think the offense is on Nick Sirianni and his inability to coach his coaches, kind of similar to what happened with Doug Peterson and when Carson Wentz regressed. Like, we went from tough coaching to kind of a friend. And to me, Brian Johnson's a little too friendly with Hurts. And we need someone that's going to, like, hey, get in people's faces again, little tough coaching. Yeah, so I think that's on Nick. Wow. But I will say the defense is not on Nick. The defense, I said it in the beginning of the year, the defense is on Howie Roseman. 100%. He built a dog shit defense, and that's not
100%. 100%.
So
I agree with you. 100%.
And Sean Desai is the scapegoat. Matt Patricia is worse than Sean Desai. So I don't want to hear that this guy sucks. Because Matt Patricia is terrible.
Which I said too then. I said, I think we might have fired the wrong coach. That's what I said. That's what I said when it happened.
But Howie's not going to fire himself.
Like, well, they scored 30, 40 points. I mean, you're playing the fucking elite of the NFL. They're fucking tired coming out of that fucking treacherous schedule we had.
I'm riding with the Birds simply because I think Tampa's whole season was Baker Mayfield kind of refinding himself and being a franchise QB. And not because he's not good. He's got 2 injuries right now that are not going to allow him to be a franchise QB on Monday, and I'm banking on that.
All right.
Don't forget. My play is a teaser, though. I got him at plus 13. So
yeah, no, I got you. No, that's okay. It's all good. Like I said, I like everything you guys said. I always enjoy Bird Talk. Like I said, I don't have a play. We'll just be watching and make sure you guys follow because we'll be doing a nice little live cast during the game. Better than Manning Brothers, I'll tell you that. All right, let's finish it off. I'm going to add our perfect bracket real quick here before we get out of here. And we're going to go through the bracket real quick, and we're going to run it down. All right. All right. So we're going to do it together, or at least try to. And we will do the vote, 3 of us. So if it's 2-1, we'll go the other way. We'll start at the top, AFC. Obviously, you guys already know where I'm at. Are you both on Houston?
I'm taking the Browns.
All right, so Diddy, you can't say nothing. All right. KC and Miami. Everybody on KC?
Yep.
Yep. All right. That's interesting. Pittsburgh and Buffalo. I know, Diddy, you were hitting at Pittsburgh, but I think we're all in Buffalo, right? I don't think there's any questions about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just taking the points.
Buffalo.
I like the points.
Okay. Dallas and Green Bay. Dallas makes all the sense in the world. Anybody got Green Bay love? Nope. Cool. Here's a good one. LA, Detroit. Is everybody on the Rams?
I'm off this one, but I think you two are on the Rams, so that moves them on.
I'm on the Rams.
You're on the Rams? Oh, man,
think-
that's tough.
I think next year's the Lions' year when they get everything back together. But that Laporta injury, that changed everything for me. Like I knew last week they were playing with fucking
Well,
fire. They couldn't afford to
for you,
lose one
Dave.
of their key guys, and
I'm on the
fucking
Detroit
lost one of their
Lions.
key guys.
I know you're going to do it.
Now it's on you. Now it's on you. I'm with my boy from Detroit.
Don
man.
Don.
Don.
But I think
Oh,
that's going to
man.
be the game of the week. So I don't know. That's a tough one. That's
a tough. Yeah, it's a tough one. The line's sharp. It's right where it should be. Laporta does hurt a little bit. Stafford typically doesn't fold in big games. You would have to kill him to get him off that field. The run game could change this game for Detroit. Do they need Laporta to win? I'm surprised me. I'm going Detroit.
All right.
All right. That's
Hope
a
to
circle
see it.
though. And then Tampa and Philly. What you guys thinking?
I'm on Tampa.
Tampa? Oh, don't do it to me, Sharp. Are you on the Eagles too? I got a
Definitely
pick.
Eagles. He said he
I'm
was
on the Eagles. I'm on the Eagles.
Yeah.
You gonna be on the Eagles too? You know it. Click
Give
them
me Tampa.
birds.
Give me Tampa. Give me
Look
Tampa.
at that. See, Tampa goes to San Fran. You see that?
Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Cleveland and Baltimore. Oh man, talk about a toss-up game. I'll go from left to right. Sharp, you up?
Baltimore.
I'm gonna fake you out. Diddy, you up?
I think that rest is gonna hurt Baltimore. I do think the rest is gonna hurt Baltimore. They're playing at home now. Tough place to play, and then was that M&T Bank, whatever that's called. But I'm just gonna go, man. The script is there, man. Joe Flacco, too hot right now. We're going Brownies. We're going to the Brownies.
You just did it. You just trying to put me in
upset.
place. Give me Lamar. 50-50 game. I'm betting with Lamar.
All right. All right.
Pretty simple. Man, KC and Buffalo. I'll
Easy
start
for
it
me.
off. Give me KC. I don't believe, but I don't think Allen. He just makes too many mistakes.
True. Give me
KC?
Buffalo. Give me Buffalo. I'm going Buffalo at home. I just think Kansas City just don't have it this year. They don't have enough. Too many. Them drops are going to catch up. Not enough offensive power. Buffalo at home. Josh Allen. This is redemption. If he gets this far, he's going to the AFC Championship.
Sharp, what you got?
Pretty simple for me, boys. Enter to learn, leave to serve. I'm riding with the LaSalle boy, Sean McDermott. Give me the Buffalo Bills.
All right. We have no question about this one, right? San Fran, right? Pretty obvious here. San Fran against Tampa.
A
I'm not gonna
rematch.
ask that. Yeah, Dallas. Detroit going to Dallas. This is where I think the Laporta injury. I don't know. Laporta might be back. They said he might play this week. If he plays this week, everybody on Dallas in this one.
I'm going Detroit, baby. Give me them Lions
Detroit?
roaring. Somebody
go
gonna
Dallas.
mix something up.
I'll
Give me
go
Lions
Dallas
for a
here.
rematch.
I'll go Dallas here. What you got?
I didn't anticipate this matchup because that's not how I see it going. But that's okay. I'll take Dallas at home. I'll ride with the home team.
All right. I'm going to Ravens. I think Lamar gets to the bowl. I'm taking the better quarterback. I pushed that, but I don't think anybody has a question with that, right?
Yeah,
all going Ravens.
That's a 2. I like the Ravens.
I mean, preseason I picked the Bills to win the AFC, so I would honestly pick. You know that in that preseason video, I would pick the Bills, but I've got no problem. The Ravens and the Rams are the 2 teams that shocked me this year about how good they've been. So that would be a coin flip game. I got no problem taking the Ravens.
Talk about a rematch of the 90s, Dallas and San Fran. I'm going to start off first. How about them Cowboys? I'm going to say it like that.
That's what you're going to say?
Dallas. Give me Dallas.
God, you can't take that. Make sure you make that a clip that you said, how about them Cowboys? Just know that you said that out your mouth. That sounds bad, bro.
How about them Cowboys? Hey, it's about winning money.
Give me the Niners, man. Give me
let's go start what you got, Sharpie.
Healthy Niners team.
I got to stick with my preseason gut, man. I like the Niners out of the NFC. Give me the Niners. I had Niners-Bills was my matchup preseason, and I'm sticking with it. Now, hey, I have no problem with the Ravens here, so Niners-Ravens it is.
Nate, the colors are there for a reason, baby. That ain't the script is written already. You just got to look between the lines.
The purple and the red, yeah, I see.
The colors is there, baby.
So a rematch, I forget what year that was, but a rematch of Baltimore and San Fran.
2012.
Yeah, 2012 Super Bowl.
That was was it the Harbaugh game? Harbaugh's Bowl, right?
John beat Jim.
And Kaepernick.
And the lights went out.
The lights went out. I don't think we'll have that, but I'm going against what I already know is a trend, and he just can't get out of his own way. Kyle Shanahan in big game folds. Give me Lamar to get his first Super Bowl.
Damn, you can't click it. We ain't, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going on that yet.
Oh, it's all right.
Go ahead, Sharp. Who you got?
Go ahead, Sharp. What you got, Sharp?
I mean, that wasn't my matchup that I predicted, but I will say I had the Niners versus the Bills, and I picked the Bills to win it because I thought Josh Allen would outduel Brock Purdy. And so if you're giving me Lamar Jackson versus Brock Purdy, we already saw it a month ago. Give me Lamar.
Well, I guess it's settled then. I don't need to say nothing. I'll keep myself quiet.
You don't want to say nothing? Keep yourself quiet.
In 4 weeks, you'll know.
Yeah. What a hell of a bracket here. The perfect bracket. Because the ones get to it, and that's just how it should be. I think that was kind of fun. We'll see how it adds up at the end of
the Rams are my dark horse, though. I want to be very clear. The Rams are my dark horse. Nobody wants to play the Rams right now. Nobody.
Go Brownies. Go Brownies.
Go Brownies. I want to thank everybody for joining. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want more free picks and more how to make sports betting a side hustle, how to learn how to be a sports bettor. Make sure you tune in to Money Pot every weekend. That's CSharp. That's Diddy. I'm Moss Money. We'll see you next week.
Fly goes fly. Go Birds.
Yeah, go Birds, man. I'm not going here. Go Birds.